Greetings. A couple of days ago, I came across an article where this guy injured himself playing sports and his wife had to take him to the emergency room. And, he got treated and they went home and thought everything was well, figured they would owe something after insurance paid it. But when they got the bill, the initial statement, it was almost $8,000. And they're like, wait a minute, what? And so the guy asked his wife to look at it. Now, here's the thing. His wife happened to be an expert at medical billing because she was in charge of the medical billing for her husband, who happened to be a doctor. And so she knew the steps to take. And I'm going to share those with you. And then I'm going to put the link to that article in the description below so that you can check that out. So she knew the steps. I'm going to talk you through some of the steps. So the first thing she did was to call the hospital and ask for an itemized bill, because everyone doesn't get an itemized bill. Hospitals are not required to send you an itemized bill unless you ask for one. And if the balance looks way out of whack, that you owe, you need to ask for an itemized bill. So she gets an itemized bill. And then she did the next thing, which is she decided to try to find out what this big charge, there was one major charge on there that didn't make any sense to her. So she asked her husband if he had that. He said no. So she tried to contact the medical records department and say, hey, my husband didn't have this. Could you check this out? And so they came back at her and said, well, yes, she did. So the next thing she did was request a copy of the medical record. Now, they have to give that to you in every state in the union. They can charge you so much per page, but they have to give it to you. So she got that. And as she read through the medical record, she then looked and she did not see this charge being done, this service that they said they did on him. So what happened is he hurt his arm. He went in, they did an x-ray of it, and then they put a splint, basically a splint or a soft cast on it. Well, it said that they had done this procedure, but they didn't do a procedure. And so she was able to find out what I'll say diagnosis wrong, procedure code. I was going to say CPT code, but she figured it out because, like I said, she's in healthcare. I could do that. Most people can't do that. But if you see something on there, you're probably going to know that's a procedure. You can always call someone and ask if there's a procedure. That used to be a service I used to do on one of my websites years ago. But I only had one person in 4 years take advantage of that, so I stopped doing that. Anyhow, she was able to finally go through all these things because they sent her to collection, but they decided, nope, we got to stick with this. So they ended up winning. That got wiped out. Still owed about $1,000, which she thought was egregious, but they decided to pay that because it was way less than this other amount that they got to. Still, you need to check if something doesn't look right. If you went to the hospital and maybe you had some kind of nosebleed and you had trouble stopping that, so you went to the emergency room and they did something with you, and then you get this bill that's $3,000. I can tell you because I was in the emergency room with someone, with my ex-wife, who had this kind of thing done, and I sat with her. And this was a hospital we had both worked in previously, So I saw exactly what they did. So if they had sent something saying that a certain procedure had been done, we were both right there. We were both in healthcare, and they would have lost. Luckily, they did the right thing. And it probably didn't hurt that I went up to the desk and I asked some questions. I said, I used to work here. Matter of fact, I used to work in this department because at the time I also worked in the emergency room. So, but you can't just always take a bill and say, okay, this is it, I'm going to pay. If it's way out of whack, you need to protect yourself. I've done that. Matter of fact, I did a video, and I don't know if it's on this channel or the other channel, but I'm going to put that up in the end credits, where I decided to challenge the bill from my provider, my regular provider at the time. I now have another one, but it's the same office, where he had upcoded some procedures that I thought, no, that doesn't sound right. Now, he decided that, yes, I think that's appropriate. I didn't think so, but it really wasn't that much money. It was just the principle of the thing. But that's me because that's me. Still, it never hurts to question things and to find out what your rights are. Anyway, that's what I have. Short video. I don't do those often, especially on my other channel, so you got lucky. Anyway, my name's Mitch Mitchell. Let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to y'all later.